Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Edge of the Empire, which I almost called Heirs of Destiny. And we're here to play Star Wars. John, introduce your character.
I'm John, and I'm playing Ares Altinos, the Mandalorian mercenary soldier. And I'm gonna roll me some Destiny, because that's a thing we're doing again. Rolled 1 dark side. I should turn on the Destiny counter.
Okay.
Boom.
Cody?
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm playing Praz, the Zabrak Commando. I will also roll Destiny. 1 dark side.
Okay. Jax?
Hi, I'm Jack, and I play Rerun, the astromech droid. Beat boop, motherfucker. 1 dark side.
Jeremy?
I am Jeremy. I play Corey Tane, human outlaw tech who really likes long straws. And
Is that on your? I hope that's on your character sheet.
nope, but it should be. And I also got a dark side point because apparently we are fucked.
We are 4 for 4.
Destiny points are popcorn. I use them, and then you use them back. Spencer?
Spencer, I play Silo Mobok, the ambassador, Twilight ambassador to the rebellion. There's a light side.
I was really hoping you would keep it going.
Concerned about what you believe the
Hey,
function of
Cat,
popcorn.
give
but
me
okay.
some more dark side points, please. I need more than this.
Let's see what happens. I'm Kat. I am playing Powder, the surgical droid with issues. They're not even just memory issues anymore. Nope, I gave us a light side.
All right.
I think that's the first time everybody's only rolled 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the things that's interesting about this is that we actually have a lot less points in play than we might otherwise,
Yep.
Yep.
even though we have the full cast. And because we have the full cast, 100% of the time, there's gonna be obligation in play until
Yay.
someone deals with that. Some of you are getting pretty close, but
We're trying. We are trying.
yeah, you're all running up against it. And we're gonna go today not pick on Rerun. Corey,
Yo.
there's some stuff you recently saw your name. You're on Corellia for the first time in your life. You saw your family's name on the side of a building, and maybe that's your family, maybe it's not.
Mhm.
But that has gotten you thinking about your family-oriented obligation, and that's kind of weighing on your mind a bit.
Okay.
So you're down by 2 strain, and everyone else is down by 1. Remember to note that in a way that makes sense to you. As we return to the world of Afterlight Skies and the Star Wars universe, where last time and the last few times our party has traveled to Corellia. partly ostensibly for ship parts that they actually grabbed somewhere else, I think. But also to look into Rerun's past and try and track down Chenguska, a Doug crime boss who previously ran a swoop bite gang that Rerun was kind of enslaved by a little bit. So, in that pursuit, they traveled around the old areas, finding that most of the gang's holdings were closed up, no longer open for business, and that Tunguska had ended up in quite a bit of debt and seems to be running both from debt collectors and the assassin droid that the party previously sent after him. They ran into one of the debt collectors after Tunguska, a man by the name of Hondo Onaka, who generously offered the party that if they unfucked the deal that their medical droid had fucked up for him, he would do his best to continue assisting them in the pursuit of Tunguska. That decided, Corey and just Corey, or Corey and Rerun? I can't actually remember who you guys sent.
I know that Rerun's there.
Yeah, I believe it was
pretty
Rerun
sure
and Corey.
Corey's there.
Yeah, because you left Powder behind. Rerun and Corey went off to meet with Alvad, an individual that I with previously mentioned dealings, who Powder had just kind of chopped some hair off of, to apologize and hopefully set up a meeting in between them and Honda.
So, just because I have no idea actually where physically I am right now, where physically am I right now?
Well, that is kind of where I was planning to pick up. Ares, you headed back to the ship with... We're going to start with what was happening with the members of our group that were a little more absent last time. Ares, you and I believe also Praz played Overwatch duty after tracking an employee Rerun had previously tagged. Sorry, did I get something wrong?
No, I was mimicking a thing as if I'm about to make a joke about Overwatch and then stop myself.
Okay.
Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. That was my silent way of making humor that turned out
Overwatch,
not to be
the
like
thing
this.
from the other game that's not Overwatch. Overwatch, not like the UN-esque organization from the video game Overwatch.
Right. Sorry, I will go back to muting myself and typing now.
Don't worry about it.
Just reaches off screen, hand comes in from Jeremy's camera.
You guys know this game never goes very long without an Overwatch reference. As we slowly convert Cody more and more. So, Overwatch position on the outside. You heard some chatter, but remained outside, just sort of watching for reinforcements, anything that you could see from above and outside. Eventually, the group made some kind of deal and came back out. All arriving eventually back together on the ship. Powder pretty badly out of it.
Strain-tastic.
Yeah, that is one way to put it.
So we're on the ship now.
Yeah.
Is the,
Um,
okay. That
Yeah,
was
so Siolo, Praz, and Ares, you are all on the ship with Powder, having sort of come back from various personal things you were attending to and whatever, or to find that Rerun and Corey have gone off somewhere.
okay. Do I know where they've gone? Any idea? No. Okay.
You would have to ask someone.
I'll just use the ship comm and comm. I know Rerun has a built-in comm, so I'll just comm Rerun and ask where you are, or what you're doing at least, bare minimum.
There will be different answers depending on which one comes through first. So would Sai have asked where they are or what they're doing first?
Sai would definitely ask first what they were doing.
Oh, we're fulfilling an appointment that Onaka needed us to cover. If you remember the individual who was in the bar looking at the swoop gang as well, we need to go meet with someone because Powder scared them and now we need to make things better.
Gotcha. Do you need any of us, or y'all fine on your own?
Well, we're in his apartment right now, so having other people knock on the door might feel a little disingenuous.
That's fair.
I will keep you updated, though, because I would not be surprised if you talking to him would have better results, maybe later down the line, than me and Corey talking to him, which we are right now.
Okay. Well, good luck. Keep the comms open if you need something. I'll be near.
I very much appreciate it.
Of course. And then Sai at this
Oh, look,
point,
grenades.
Sai goes back to fiddling with whatever he was doing on the ship, waiting. Trust Rerun pretty well when it comes to stuff like this.
So for me, if I'm not needed to shoot anything and I've already cleaned up the blood room, I'm gonna go see if I can't find any relevant information on antiquity sales or any sort of trade of unique items that may or may not be happening in the city we're in. 'Cause I figure if the person that sold the Mandalorian armor to the decapitated head person is someone who likes to buy and trade unique items, then perhaps I might find some information there. Since Rerun's doing their
So
thing
you're
over there.
looking for the kind of dealer that might have ties to the kind of dealer that might have access to the kind of thing that Mandalorian armor is.
Not specifically Mandalorian armor, no, but like the kind of I'm looking for the kind of people that trade in antiquities that were found.
Okay. On Corellia, that is probably not all that hard to find. I want you to make me let's see. Is there a specific check you were thinking you would prefer to use?
If possible,
Heavy ranged.
heavy.
No.
No, if possible, either vigilance or coercion to sort of shortcut me actually going out and talking to people.
I'll let you make me, because it's Corellia and finding people who deal in antiquities is not the challenge. I'll let you make me either a cool or coercion check to essentially find the type of dealer you might be looking for.
Yeah. What difficulty?
A difficulty of 2.
Okay, it'll be a coercion roll.
Yeah. And based on your successes, you will get better.
Yeah,
if you get
like the idea that I'm thinking, like the narrative idea that I'm thinking is like going out in full Mandalorian gear and, doing the I'm looking for antiquities questionnaire. But in very obviously, what I'm talking about, even though I'm not saying the right words.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more a matter of how well you carry it out.
3 advantage.
And 3 advantages. So the person you are talking to is clearly willing to give you this information and not necessarily sufficiently intimidated, but sufficiently respectful of your prowess. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to necessarily have the information you're looking for, like offers suggestions, but is very open about this may not be exactly what you're hoping for. You're hoping for something pretty specific that doesn't run across his table. He deals with trinkets, smaller things. Yeah. He doesn't seem to be deceiving you at all. Yeah. But sort of after giving that caveat, he'll slip across 2 pieces of paper. One of them... Sorry. One of them reads electric and electrify. Hide ink. It's in sort of a neon metallic color. Has a communications number, but also a local address in Corellia. The other one is going to require me running through and finding something sorry, it's been a few weeks and this is from an old...
That's fine.
Block.
It's been a few weeks for me too.
How dare you do the thing that I do literally every Eberron session?
Let me go back to this other thing. Find my notes. The thing I do whenever, like 5 minutes after I literally came up with the name, like 5 minutes later, forgetting the name and having to look it up again.
Yeah.
It was Harbin. What? Alcanis. Why'd I say that?
Right. Sorry. It was a, I know I spelled this like it's Star Wars, now I need to find the Star Wars spelling of it thing. For Teresa Thane is just the name on the card. It's a...
Teresa Fane with an F?
No, Tane.
Okay. There it is.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Teresa Tane. It's just a name, an address on the other side of the card. That's all you get on that one.
As I'm walking away, just through my helmet, calming back to the ship. Hey, anybody listening?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah.
Want to have you guys run a couple of names for me and see if any of these have any sort of connection with the name Cornelia Avion. Looking at Electric and Electrified Incorporated and Theresa Tane. And I'll forward over the spelling of both of those things. See if any of those have had any sort of dealings with a Cornelia Avion. It's supposedly it calls itself a celebrity management agency, but it's a front for other businesses.
Okay. Yeah, 1 second. And yeah, I'll just run those through the ship computer.
Alright, just through your ship's computer?
I assume it's the best computer, is it not?
So just as a reminder, Star Wars does not have Wikipedia. Star Wars has essentially more TV-style news broadcasts and some databases that specific people may have access to. But You also have your local database of what you guys personally have collected on your ship computers. I believe the celebrity management agency would come up on your ship computers, but just as somewhere that you've encountered before, and I think potentially even messaged at some point.
I don't know if we messaged them. I know that was the information that I received from that we got off of that data pad.
Yeah. Okay, you didn't message them, but
Yeah.
you had. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess other than
It's just in your ship's computer as this is a shell company we know about.
Yeah.
okay, Praz, do you know any databases that would hold this information? Most of the ones I have access to are just full of shit on the Empire. Wouldn't really have anything to do. The rebellion doesn't care too much about conglomerate corporations right now, so don't have a lot of information on that.
And you could run it anyways.
Yeah, they
You
might
never
have-
know.
Okay, yeah, I'll run it through my few
I'll run it
rebellion
through
contacts.
All right.
Any bounty hunting
So
sites.
if Silo and Praz are both Sai and Praz are both interested, Jeremy and John, I just want to give a quick shout out for not naming your new characters completely unpronounceable long things, because that's been an ongoing issue with this show.
It's a Star Wars universe. They shouldn't generally. Lux wasn't that hard.
Luxuria.
Luxira. Luxira.
Luxara. Yeah. Both of you can make me a knowledge underworld check at difficulty 5.
Wow.
I got this.
Because it's pretty you don't necessarily have anything boosting that. But knowledge underworld difficulty 5.
Might get lucky. Let's find out.
Get ready for the Hail Mary, everybody. Cinderella story.
I've made worse rolls.
Oh, god dang it! I
You have to
didn't-
actually add.
I'll use a light side just for
You,
You didn't even get a success
Okay.
at no
I
difficulty.
didn't.
you need to actually have a difficulty, Spencer.
Oh.
4 failures and 1 threat.
So
No, the
size-
rebellion doesn't seem to have information on any of these things, at least not that you have access to remotely.
Sai's just looking at his data pad going, I told you we wouldn't fucking have the information, just mumbling to himself, like...
I love how petty.
Kaz, with 4 threats and no successes, you find another reference or 2 online to that same shell company. He, as a celebrity, under that guise of a celebrity management agency, but nothing terribly specific. Just like it's cited in this one very long list of various companies that do this kind of work, or public inventory report for full disclosure and honesty reasons.
Yeah,
But
I start reading through parts
None
of
of
that,
it,
and
yeah.
I just immediately think, oh, I forgot to turn ad blocker on.
I got something. I know I got something. Yeah, I don't think... If they do any dealings, they keep it extremely hush-hush, not going to be in the public eye. I can't find anything.
And nobody's put a bounty out for him as far as I can find, so...
No,
Well-
Praz, you'd...
Yeah, that's
especially
what
if it was a local bounty, you'd have found it.
Yeah.
Right, well, I guess once Corey and Rerun get out, I'll run it by them as well. Until then, old-fashioned interpersonal dialogue, I guess, will have to be my method.
Any idea of the other pseudonyms the celebrity company goes by? That might help narrow down.
No, that's the only one we've got. They were the ones Doug sold them Yarek's armor, which is how it got to what's his name.
Gotcha.
They bought it on his behalf, so I'm hoping that maybe some other antiquity dealers in the city might have had some dealings with him. If you guys want to come out and have a chat, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, I've got nothing else
addresses.
going on. So yeah, I'll make my way to wherever Ares is going.
I'll forward the address on as I'm heading that way.
Perfect.
We're going to stop by the Electric and Electrified Incorporated first.
Cool. We'll do. This should be fun. Good cop, bad cop.
Right.
I
like that I figured out. I like that I figured out the exact right way to say the word right. That makes it either an agreement or sarcasm, but it's hard to tell which.
And both both were acceptable.
I mean, I feel like you can tell which is which.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
All right, onward to Electric Co.
Okay. So
Elect company.
from there,
Electric
we're going to transition to Powder and Praz. Anything you two are doing?
I left with Ziola.
Oh, right. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Powder.
Powder is doing whatever Powder needs to do, game mechanics wise, to get rid of this strain.
Right. You're having a fucking nap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Robot nap.
Yep. Powder is in the corner, just, powered down, refreshing.
Would you call it a power nap?
Yes. That is exactly what it is.
That's not even a pun.
No, it's a play on words. Different from a pun.
We try not to pun.
There are multiple levels of
none
literary
of you
playing.
actually try not to pun.
I
You're
try not to
just-
pun.
I actively
But
try.
now let's go to Luxa.
No.
Corey and rerun.
It would have been a pun
Okay.
if we had gone. It was a powder nap.
Yes.
Yes.
Jack, you muted.
Jack, you're muted.
I know I was. That's why I waited to unmute until I was finished talking.
That was probably smart. All right. So,
So as I recall, we had spoken to Alvad, who was very edgy, cagey, refrigerator face, not easy to read.
or at least to the two unsocials perspective, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Alva sort of finishes his pouring himself a drink of some sort of syrupy red liquid and turns back around. So, you wanted to meet with me on Hondo's behalf.
More or less.
Well, listening for the moment. Make your case.
Turns to look at Corey. Corey has a long straw. Excellent. Turns back. Hondo is in possession of something that you want. Hondo is willing to negotiate, to relinquish acquisition of this thing that you want for the right price.
Yup.
So, we are the vanguard, the initial emissaries, and Rerun's running an internal counter. It has been X days since our last vocabulary failure. To see under what circumstances you would like to begin said negotiations.
That.
Well, I do very much want what Hondo has on offer. However, the problem is there's a certain... I appreciate the good faith, but that particular type of droid the concern. It concerns me that I've gotten such attention.
Why? Why is that particular droid model a concern? I don't remember. I don't know anything that's really in. Not that model. Like that model is it's a standard medical droid model. Not saying that it's not unique and different and special all on its own, because it is.
Corey, roll me a fucking deception. Sorry.
I mean, she's not deceiving at all, but okay.
So unless you don't feel that Corey is doing this specifically. Corey specifically knows that Powder is not a standard medical droid. Sorry.
So
Corey
here's
is the
my
only
argument,
one that knows
and
that.
if you reject this, that's fine. But here's my argument. Corey's immediate because that model is immediately thinking of chassis and everything else. That said, there's probably a little bit of her that's curious what's going on. So if you want me to make the roll, I totally get it.
I will accept that, but I want to first remind you of something so that I'm sure that the information in universe is accurate to you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Corey, when she first met Powder, recognized that Powder was an atypical model by the chassis.
Correct. Never mind.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That I legitimately did not remember that. That said, I don't retract the statement because there is a part of her that really thinks. So what's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay. So goodbye to our 1 light side point.
All right.
Because I have 3 green dice for that. And let's see how this goes. Corey, you did it again.
Booster because of his thing.
Oh,
his cool is not actually as bad as I thought it was. His cool is actually great. That's interesting. Let's see how he actually rolls though, because stats aren't everything.
Victory!
Oh my god! All right, so. Corey, you're doing this, and like
off as not knowing.
Sort of halfway through it, you remember, oh wait, Powder does have an unusual chassis, but you just power through because that shouldn't matter. Powder is unique for being a person, not because of some model number.
Exactly.
And Alva sort of looks at you. Maybe not, though. I tend to trust my instincts for good reason. The concern is...
Wish I had instincts.
Big grin.
When you are someone of my affluence, the collection of genetic information becomes a matter of corporate sabotage.
I mean, that's fair. That's why because I think we'd already presented to him when we walked right through the door.
Yep. We pretty much led with that.
We did lead with, hey, we have hair clippings, essentially. But I appreciate that you claim to have returned it. Obviously, there's no way of verifying that is the complete sample.
It totally is, and she does not know any differently.
Yep.
I mean, it was an honest mistake. This happens. It shouldn't have to screw up whatever deal you've got going on. Do you really want to shoot yourself in the foot over something like this? When
I do not shoot myself in the foot. I am good at this.
That is
I take a step back.
absolutely harmonious with
Um,
what we have heard. Hondo's
I want-
willing to sell it. He's wanting to sell it. He's waiting to sell it.
Okay, persuasion for rerun. I also want you both to make me vigilance checks.
Okay.
Difficulty 2 on the vigilance, 3 on the persuasion.
Okay.
Difficulty 2. 1 success.
All right. Difficulty 2 on the vigilance. 2 threats and a triumph on the vigilance. And crap. What's persuasion in this system? Is it
Persuasion
coercion?
is negotiation, probably.
Yeah,
Negotiate.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Negotiate.
I completely lost that as well. And 3 on the negotiation. This is going to be great. Wow. 2 successes and 2 threat. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, with 2 successes and 2 threats. So both of you, when he sort of loses his temper for half a second, you could swear his eyes sort of change color, flashing with this red light. But it almost seems like a trick of the light. Fuck, words being in the same sentence twice. It almost seems like just a trick of the light, an illusion, and they're back to this sort of bluish green color behind his glasses just a moment later.
And Rerun's a droid. He's used to ocular implants altering color based on random circumstances. That does not bother him at all.
You do know it's not typical for a human, which this guy presents as, but yeah, probably not the more interesting part of the outrage, the thing to rerun.
Can I make, I don't know what the medicine or mechanics?
Xenology,
okay.
would be the...
That's fine.
It's called Xenology. Yeah. Knowledge Xenology, and this would be difficulty 4.
Okay.
I'm going to flip a dark side point because I feel like you guys may need some of those.
Cool.
What gives you that idea?
That you sent the mechanics to the potential combat/social encounter?
2 successes and 4 threat.
Well, damn it, Corey, why do you roll?
Because I know, right? But also that's an intellect-based roll, and that's where I have my 4.
Yeah. Corey is very good at retaining information. Corey, you have lived on the Outer Rim most of your life. You've worked on Crossroads. You've worked in places where you see the more unusual species, and you see some of the very few alien species that are able to, in one way or another, pass for human. Ulva does not match any of those that you have ever run across or are aware of. You can think of several species that, for one reason or another, their eyes change colors. The first obvious instance is droids, or someone with ocular implants that are reasonably passable, sometimes do have color-changing ones. And that can be controlled with a neuro implant, you would know very well. But the sort of, it wasn't just the irises that changed. In that moment, it looked like the eyes sort of changed entirely. The area covered over, which is not a characteristic most human passing races would have, especially not as an on and off feature.
Okay.
You know that it's not any of the things that it would make sense for it to be.
Got it. So you got successes on her crew roll, so she doesn't immediately go, what the fuck? fuck? She just stares and lets Rerun, well, do the negotiating.
Well, let me put it this way. I need some sort of insurance that that droid isn't going to be carrying certain information back.
I assure you.
What kind of collateral are you looking for?
Oh, something beyond being assured. Oh. Is that needed? I look over. He said he needed assurances. I assured him. Jesus. Somewhere Science like head is exploding at this negotiation without
As you're
knowing
walking
why.
towards an address, you do feel this tingle in the back of your head, like, no, that's not how you do the thing.
Just people walking by me just see Sai go, that's not right! What? What's wrong? What's wrong? Oh god. Okay, calm down.
Yep.
Yeah. What'll do ya?
As I've said, there's no necessarily way to confirm that this is the entire sample. That would honestly have been the easiest method, but no, that's not a thing, Alva. You can't just do that, Alva.
I mean, it is. Sorry, go ahead.
Some sort of evidence that the droid has not recalled the encounter or has otherwise been altered to prevent further similar mishaps would obviously be the most convenient method for all parties. I'm also willing to accept other proposals you might have. You understand I can't just take your word for this.
I mean, I don't understand, but okay, that's fine. Look over it. Rerun. Thoughts?
I frequently do. But, well, look, Alva, you seem I mean, I know you've got money, and I know that you've got credits, and I know that you've got pretty much, it strikes an individual as odd that we can't seem to make this work, given that really literally everybody involved really wants it to. So you need assurances and guarantees and things of that nature.
And you presumably either need to work off something from Hondo or get something from Hondo. So...
kind of both?
So I can get what I need from you, even if that's different from what I need from Hondo. Isn't the world of business just lovely?
I'm confused.
All right. To simplify...
No. It's okay. Don't simplify. Well,
You need me to agree. And while I very much would like to agree, I can't do it until you've done what I need, and you can't get what you need from Hondo until you've done what I need as a consequence.
That sounds very accurate.
So, are you able to acquiesce to my offer or find
Yes,
an
I
alternative
am.
offer?
Wait, let's repeat the offer again because I don't know if Rerun was listening to the offer.
I need assurances, specifically evidence that you or the droid that you acquired this from is not going to be taking that information elsewhere. Most conveniently, if not in the disposal of said droid, in some method or another of rectifying let us generously assume, a programming error and not the kind of corporate infiltration that would lead to both of us spending quite a lot of time in
At about this
reports.
point, she cuts in. It's like he wants us to see to do a memory wiper modification or behavior alteration.
And there's just this very long, drawn out.
This is the point where Corey takes about just a very step backwards from being between them.
Of course, as I mentioned, I am completely open to alternative offers that might produce the same result. I'm quite magnanimous.
I'm magnificent too.
Well, so
At this point, if it's okay, we're going to transition the scene.
I think that's a great idea.
Sorry, I cut you off, Jeremy.
No, that's fine, because I was bullshit stalling.
Yeah, I didn't. Okay, so electrics and electrifieds, or whatever it actually was. Oops.
Electric Boogaloo.
No.
Electric and electric slides.
Electric and Electrified Incorporated.
Yes.
Yes. That is exactly what it was.
Because I wrote it down.
Very good, Aries. Yeah. You walking through the, again, sort of pseudo-classical sci-fi Romanesque architecture of Corellia, past the sort of more corporate shipyards area where mining is brought in, and you find yourself in a sort of pseudo-industrial warehouse-esque district. Looking around and eventually locating the address, as you see a sort of encarved signposting above one of these large buildings, clearly built to house equipment, stuff like that. Many of them seem to be related to the mining operations in some way or another, with Electric and Electrified Incorporated on the signage. There's a front door or no windows that clearly go in, because that's the thing that warehouses don't have for very good reason.
I assume for convenience sake, we all arrive at the same time.
Those of you that were headed there arrive.
Yeah, the three of us that are in there.
So, one thing real quick though, as we're walking there, Sai, after having his mental breakdown, that brief moment, looks over to Praz and goes, so we haven't really talked much since I became a member of the crew. I don't know that much about you, and you are sort of the de facto captain of the ship. I've gained that
That's
idea.
Correct.
I would love to know more about you. Anything you're willing to share, obviously.
I mean,
You're pretty quiet. I assume that is a conscious choice given some of our crew members. But I didn't
I like
know.
to enjoy the show, yes.
Yeah. But I would like to know at least, I've gathered you're a bounty hunter. What caused you to become that? It's a pretty difficult life to go into.
It's actually pretty cake compared to what I grew up doing. I am from Ionis. I trained in the militia there for a while. Went back to Iridonia and trained more extensively there. Came back, and I'm basically just doing this to kind of get some experience under my belt before I go back to Ionis and start working my way through the ranks there.
I see. You have anyone waiting for you back home?
No.
We're not certain of the answer to that right now. Please try again later.
I mean, I have family, but no.
I see. All right. Well, sorry to pry. Just wanted to
No, it's fine.
get to know you a little
You're
better.
honestly the first person that's asked.
Oh, that's
I mean,
sad.
I hung out with the other the people before, and we kind of knew each other long enough that most of that shit came out. But
Well,
pointedly asking, you're number one.
well, if you ever want to talk, I'm as good as a listener as I am a speaker. So, as difficult as that may be to believe, but I have some second-hand knowledge of what it's like to be in a military and the troubles that are brought to the family with that. So, if you ever need to bounce something, if you need a soundboard, I'm here for you.
Okay. What brought you? Well, I'll look around real quick. How? what number?
It's pretty
How
deserted.
crowded? It's pretty
What
deserted.
caused you to want to overthrow the empire?
Yeah.
It's pretty deserted, and it's Corellia, so you're pretty sure that no one's necessarily too. There's spies everywhere, but probably not the worst.
No,
I still whisper under my breath and get close. How long have you been with the with the rebellion?
With the Empire. Never? Bam!
What got you
Double
over
agent,
there?
pow-pow.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
quick draw. No, it's a difficult question to answer quickly, but the short version of it is some very atrocious things happened on my home planet. I joined a small cell that eventually joined the mother cell, and that's the very basic outlines to that. But if you ever get a chance, just look up Ryloth, and you'll see a lot of the atrocities that happen there that lead to someone like me wanting to make a difference the best way they can. So,
Okay. Just off the top of my head, does the name of his planet bring anything up?
Knowledge, either warfare or.
I'll do warfare.
Yeah, knowledge warfare is probably the most accurate one for what happened to Ryloth.
Difficulty?
Difficulty of 3, I'll say. And I'll flip a dark side, because, again, I feel like you guys may need those for some odd reason.
no idea. No clue.
Okay, knowledge warfare. Failure and advantage. I've heard of your home planet before. I know that Twi'leks are from there.
Yeah, well, there's some knowledge you'll know even with a single failure. Ryloth is generally accepted as the home world of the Twi'lek species. It's a pretty major location. It's actually on this specific trade route, the Corellian Run. Yeah, you're pretty sure you were roughly active during the Clone Wars, but you weren't really in the thick of the fighting, especially not in this area, if I remember right. Yeah, you don't know exactly what happened during the Clone Wars. There was a lot of stuff that happened to various planets, and unfortunately, a lot of it was muddled by this sort of two-sided propaganda machine of this is what this group did. They did the bad thing, and they did the bad thing. A lot of conflicting information. You know something happened on Ryloth, and you know it's not a place that your group would be inclined to go these days, but that's about all you know.
Okay. I will bookmark that. Praz will remember this.
Nice.
If I had the capability to like modify like graphics and animations on the fly, I would totally have one of those. Just
Those little
just a little thing that pops up, fades in, and then fades out.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I want the butterfly from Life is Strange. Just every time any player says anything, it pops up with this decision will have consequences.
Might be able to get like just like an animation of a butterfly flying across the screen. I don't know. I'll look into that.
I
But,
feel like that
okay,
would get
yeah.
really confusing for the stream very fast. Like, why are all of the butterflies here?
What
What's
butterflies?
wrong with you people?
What butterflies? What are you talking about? There's no butterflies on this video.
All right. Yeah, I'll be sure to look that up when we get back to the ship. Let's see what Ares is doing.
Yeah, let's make sure he
I predict
doesn't
murder.
beat someone up at a
Yeah,
vintage
God, I really
shop.
hope he's not like just beating the shit out of somebody that won't like
you
honestly.
guys, like-
Give me the answer.
You guys get there, it's just like been painted red with blood. There's like 4
God damn
disembodied people. You were 5 minutes late.
Aries, you're gonna have to roll for that if you want that to happen.
No. Ares is not
Okay.
intending to kill anybody right now.
In 15 minutes, we can leave legally. Yeah. All right. So we get there after a little chat and meet up with Ares.
Right. So this is basically a trade place. People buy and sell items of various types of import and interest. I figure somebody might have had some dealings with the people we're looking for. Don't know if they might have had them directly or might just know someone else who has. But the people we're actually looking for are Cornelia Avion or a Doug that has recently come through the possession of some Mandalorian Bascargum.
All right. For my own knowledge, the buying and selling of Bascargum, is that? I assume it's not common, but is it faux pas to talk about? Like, is that something?
I imagine that I'm not certain what the worlds might think of it, but if you wouldn't want to tell a Mandalorian that you bought and sold some Bascargum, it's not something you buy, it's something you earn.
Okay. Do you think? And I'm grain of salt this comment, but do you think a Mandalorian and Mandalorian armor present for this conversation may make it significantly more difficult?
Probably yes.
As in scaring the shit out of the man.
Yep. That's why I would like for the two of you to go in first, and if you feel like some scaring the shit out of is needed, I will walk in after.
Okay. Good.
Just consider me the boogeyman for this particular incident.
Already do, Aries. Wait, will you put those 2 names in the chat so I can transfer them to my notes?
That's the name
I
of the
totally remember
company.
how I spelled those things.
That's the name of the Mandalorian whose armor was bought and sold.
Okay.
And that's the place we're at right now. And that's the person we're going to next.
Okay. Cornelia Avion. So that was the Mandalorians whose armor.
No, Yarrick is the one whose armor it was. Cornelia Avion, the people
Avion
who bought
is
the armor.
a agency that they're a shell company.
Gotcha.
Here,
Is the simplest way to put it.
I will put the full length of that particular note in from my notes here, so you can sort of see the whole
Perfect.
context.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Which
helps
is
me.
Yarek's armor sold by a Doug to Cornelia Avion, a celebrity management agency at an outer rim port.
And Cornelia Avion was specifically a shell company for
the guy whose name I genuinely can never remember.
Yeah, Jared Rance, who is Glass's sister or Glass's brother, the rich guy that you guys beheaded.
Right.
We detorsoed him.
Yeah.
Right.
What's this we?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'll make my way into electric and electrified ink.
Okay.
And kind of just get a little beat of the place before I kind of scope out who I should probably go talk to.
And I'm
right.
As they go in, I'm going to jetpack up to a nearby rooftop.
Easy enough, yeah.
So that if I need to come in impressively, a landing Mandalorian is far scarier than a Mandalorian just walks in.
And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn, since mine is internal, I'm just going to turn my comm on and just leave it, it's like having a walkie-talkie in your pocket, so Ares can hear the conversation.
And
right.
I will confirm I'll confirm over mine that I can hear.
Yep.
Yep. So, I assume Praz will keep his comm off so the conversation is not verbally reiterating to everyone in the area.
Just blasting through his helmet.
So, Rerun, you would also be picking this up, and this is happening roughly concurrent to your conversation. But it may be not the thing that Rerun is prioritizing. So that's
Probably
up
not.
to you.
Probably not.
Section
Just
that
mute that little
conversation.
section right
Yeah.
there.
I am so glad that you two were the ones that picked up that particular plot thread, by the way. So Sai and Praz head on in. This is clearly like a warehouse space. If you've ever been in one of those big warehouses by a port, some of it is sectioned off. There's clearly a second layer that you can see stairs to in one corner. But it seems like a large portion of the interior of this space has essentially been converted into market stalls. There's some sort of nondescript, almost electro-punk elevator music type.
Baller.
Inoffensive, but slightly underground, playing through presumably some kind of internal speaker system. People are sitting at various counters. It's not crowded, but there's several people milling around looking at various stalls. One or two people that seem to just be having a conversation with the sales clerk at a place or two. You're both fairly well versed in this sort of place, so you can spot various specific things. There's someone who's selling slightly contraband parts for probably bikes or ships. There's someone who seems to be an information dealer, some sort of fortune teller in a different corner.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a few different stalls.
I'll look over at Praz and say, "Oh, I feel like our two best options would be either an armor dealer or an information broker. You would maybe have a better guess than I in terms of tracking armor. Either one of those sound better in your opinion?"
An armor dealer, if it was sold in the outer rim, an information broker would probably be better. But if he tried to offload it here or in the area, somebody selling Mandalorian armor would probably be on any decent merchant's radar.
Yeah, that was my thought.
So
Well, 50-50 shot. I guess let's go with the armor dealer and see if they weren't the one that sold it, maybe they are the one, they know about it, a high piece of armor being sold. You would think other dealers would know about such a thing. So we'll take a walk around and look for an armor dealer that looks worth their snuff, someone who could get their hands on Mandalorian armor, you know.
Okay. So
ritzy
sort
armor.
of walking through the area for a little bit, you do eventually sort of one armor place catches your eye. There's a few, but this one specifically seems to be run by a Wookiee who is wearing sort of a heavy, almost like space metal plate. It's lighter and less full coverage than I believe the kind of armor that both Praz and Ares wear, which is full body suit. This is more like half plate with a lot more space for fur and the sort of large sized woman who's running the stall. Awesome. But there's various pieces, nothing specifically Mandalorian, but that Praz at least would recognize as high quality or sought after pieces of various kinds on the shelves. Seems like it's also an armor modification place, stuff like that.
Okay, awesome.
A translator droid stands by the stall, presumably for the obvious reason.
Yeah, because I do not speak Wookiees, so.
Yeah.
Me neither.
So yeah, make our way to the dealer, and as I approach, does the Wookiee acknowledge, like, the first one to respond, or does the protocol droid?
If you clearly are approaching the stall, you will hear sort of a roar, call over.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm just trying not to ruin anyone's ears by doing a slightly closer intimidation. And a wave. And the protocol droid will. Greetings. Welcome to the Halberd's Blade. We work in the areas of armor, sales, negotiations, and modifications. What can we do for you today?
Muted.
We are looking for a somewhat specific piece of armor that we are hoping that you may be able to help us track down. If so, we would be more than willing to pay for information or services. Even though we won't be commissioning armor, we would still be more than happy to make sure you make a profit from this conversation. If you have the information we're looking for, obviously.
I keep an eye on the various markets. I might be able to help you track down a piece that we don't personally have on hand. And this is Ila. Any day. Can we inquire as to your own name?
Of course, my name is Sai. It is a pleasure to meet both of you. I hope your business is doing well here. The armor we are specifically trying to track down is Mandalorian in make. It was sold by Doug. We are looking for the actual armor itself, which I know may make this a little bit more difficult. We aren't looking for sort of the style. It is this very specific set of Mandalorian armor. I believe it was sold to a Cornelia Avion. If you have anything that matches your records and could lead us on a trail, that would be more than useful.
Okay, so I want you to make me a negotiation check at difficulty 4 because you don't 4 for various reasons, but with a boost die because Praz is assisting you at this time.
Okay.
Um,
I don't have. No, they're all gonna be for stuff against me. Okay, negotiations. 4 success, 3 advantage.
oh. Mandalorian pieces are more treated as collector's items, partly. But we could certainly help manufacture something of similar make and quality, but as to a specific Mandalorian armor, I'm not aware of any that's come by this planet's markets with any frequency. I'm afraid I'm we're also not familiar with that particular name. Cornelia Avion isn't any shop I've ever encountered.
I see. We were kind of hoping that, some of the merchants, the armor dealers in the area would be, and I mean this politely, but keeping tabs on other dealers, understanding how the prices fluctuate and who's selling what. We were kind of hoping you may have information.
Do you have friends in the Outer Rim, maybe, that also sell armor? Sometimes they send you they sell you some good pieces that you can make a good bit of credits on in the inner, or on this planet.
Yeah, Corellia is a core world.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's come? Are you entirely sure that you've come? That this item has passed through this local area? We do keep fairly good connections with the various other dealers, especially if something like that had come about.
Honestly, no, we don't know. That's kind of why we're asking around.
Yeah, we're not quite sure. Honestly, we were just hoping if you had some friends in the Outer Rim, told you about a piece somebody was trying to offload. Maybe they forwarded a message to you saying, "Hey, there's a piece out here being sold. If you want it,
We're just looking for breadcrumbs at this point.
The Outer Rim's a big place. It's not something
is.
that we have come across. Certain. Again, it's not the sort of thing that we'd directly be handling, unless, as on the very rare occasion a Mandalorian might want some sort of augment to their armor that they couldn't personally provide.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, thank you for your time, and hope your business does well in its future endeavors.
Did the armor by any chance have an integrated jetpack?
Do I know this information? No.
Well, you had pretty direct access to the armor. Your sister would have mentioned that. That's pretty unusual and not a thing that he had.
No. Okay. Ciolo's is in his head, so it doesn't broadcast out, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And mine is off.
I'll just go, no.
No, it didn't. But what caused you to ask that question?
Oh, you mentioned before. We mentioned specific rare instances where I've worked with Mandalorian armor. That would be one of the most prominent projects I could think of. Nothing else that would even vaguely fit in the time frame, unless you're looking at something from 60 so years back that it might have crossed the markets a little bit.
I see. No, the one we're looking for didn't. But yeah, I think we might have just struck out hoping it came through here. But again, appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your day.
Has anyone come through here asking for Mandalorian replica pieces or anything like that?
It would be a lot easier to ask who hasn't. Mandalorian armor is prized as the best in the galaxy for good reason. People looking for pieces of similar quality, make, type, even in aesthetic, are dime a dozen.
Yeah, it looked pretty
Less
cool,
people
but
looking for a specific piece that came through a specific company.
yeah.
Hey, have any posers come in asking about desert eagles?
Yeah,
And by
his
chance,
name
did
is
they call it a
Senstaku,
deagle?
who specifically ran around asking, "Hey, can I get some faux Mandalorian armor?" Sorry,
No, it
Well-
wasn't full Mandalorian armor. It was just a mask.
faux.
Mandalorian.
Well, I guess given we pretty much gathered they don't have any info, I'll go ahead and step away from
Before you step away, I will go. One last question, real quick. See if they know anybody who might deal in recovered antiquities.
Last question. If I was looking for old recovered antiquities, stuff found in the deserts, in a vault, that sort of thing, what would be the best shop you would recommend around here?
There's no one in this market that specializes in that. There is a trinket dealer, but mostly handles slightly more kitsch modern things, and the protocol droid will indicate out to sort of down the hall from you. You can clearly see that one. In the city more broadly, deal. The first name that would come up would be Theresa Thane. Why are all of your characters' names so hard to pronounce?
Kane is not hard to pronounce.
I know it really, really, really isn't. I don't know why I keep fucking it up. Theresa Thane. Artifacts are one of the many aspects of her business.
All right. I will make my way over there then. Thank you.
Okay.
As I walk away, in my comm to Ares, I'll be like, I don't think we're going to find much here in Corellia, at least in terms of armor dealers when it comes to it. I feel like I really killed that conversation and got nothing out of it. So I think it's truly a dead end.
You certainly did. However, we did get a second mention of Theresa Tay.
Right.
So that'll be a good place to look into next.
Praz is still at the counter.
Okay.
Is there any chance you still do those jetpack integrations into armor?
So sweet jetpacks.
I have a mighty strong desire to fly into a Sarlacc pit, and I would like you to help me with that.
Yes.
If someone can provide all of the pieces I'd need and armor of high enough quality for the augmentation, would try it again. It's a bit of a master crafts type pursuit. It's not a science so much as an art.
Well, if you've done it once, I think I'll be back.
The Wookiee will always appreciate business.
Yep.
Is what essentially is translated. And this Wookiee woman will sort of note something down on a tablet, whatever, seemingly below the screen. And you can see a few hollows of various jetpack-looking designs just sort of in the corner.
Ooh. as I walk out.
Okay.
Aries, do you think that we're gonna have better luck with antique dealers over armor dealers finding?
Antiquities in particular, specifically recovered ones. Like you heard, Mandalorian armor is typically considered a collector's item. It'll probably have gone through those circles.
Hmm.
The fact that the name's been recommended more than once, though, means that this might be a very good lead. Might end up going nowhere, but it's worth a shot at least.
I see.
All we're really looking for is a name of that dog, and if we can get it through Cornelia Avion, or through someone else, then that'll be a win.
Okay. So, at that point, I think we're going to go to break.
All right. Back in a minute. And we're back.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to Star Wars Afterlight Skies, where we return to the storyline of the mechanics in the social situation, where I believe Rerun was going, ha, 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 last time we spoke.
And Corey it's time for some bloody social engineering.
To not to be between the droid and the soon-to-be steaming pile of
This
flesh.
is when Rerun goes, the Mandalorian does have the correct solution to most problems.
You can certainly try.
So as I understand it, your concern is that your biosignature may have been compromised by our associate's errant programming glitch, and you would like to ensure that that security measure is intact before engaging in negotiations with Mr. Onaka.
And that glitch does not repeat itself, yes.
Right. Cool. Nice. Right then. Well, would a observed diagnostic sequencing potentially put your mind at rest?
If you can ensure that the error is not still present, and sure.
I believe the individual in question could be analyzed, questioned with inquiry response sequencing. If you have any technicians that would be considered reliable, or simply if you yourself want to observe the procedure, and we can ensure that all information is above board and accessible to you.
That seems reasonable. I have a technician who could officiate such a matter.
Okay, very good then. Well, let me contact my associate and see would your technician be willing to have this done, this observation procedure on board our ship?
She can be available anywhere that's convenient for you.
Very good. Here's our docking pad. Corey.
Yeah.
Let's be on our way then, shall we?
Okay.
All right.
And she very quickly finishes her drink.
Okay.
Wonderful meeting you.
And we're pinging powder.
So are you headed out at this point?
Yep. Out the apartment.
Corey, I want you to make me a discipline check difficulty. I guess it's difficulty 4.
Okay.
And I'm flipping a dark side point because why not?
Okay.
Because Corey can't win at everything all the time.
I have 2 dice to roll for this.
You'll get 1 success.
Fingers crossed.
That's only 1 failure.
All I do
Not
is
a bad
win,
what I
win,
said.
no matter what.
Corey, as you leave, there's sort of a chill that runs down your spine, and as you're sort of pulling the last out of this straw, you suck in breath, and there's just a cold sensation in the bottom of your stomach for just a second before you manage to shake it off.
What was I drinking again?
I think you just brought in your Didn't you get something at the bar and just keep it?
Probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it wasn't
it's in
anything I
that.
drank here.
It's
You
your,
don't
it's
think
your
something
ridiculous
you
Mai
drank
Tai.
unless it's something from the bar that's just taken a really long time
What's
to be
that
weird.
taste? I can't identify it. It's like cyanide?
I don't remember having almonds put into my drink.
No, it
Sorry, that's
doesn't feel like that. It feels more like a chill down your spine. But
So it's iocane.
Corey does
Luckily,
not keel
I
over
spent-
Dead.
Luckily, I
does,
spent
yeah.
my entire life building up an immunity to iocane powder. I'm gonna take a look around the room
Okay.
really quick.
I'm gonna make it in this instance because of what you're looking for. I'm gonna make it vigilance.
Okay.
Difficulty of 2.
Okay. What the hell? I'll flip a point for that.
Okay.
One success and 1 advantage.
Okay. With 1 success and 1 advantage, looking around, again, it's a pretty standard hotel room. It is notable that there are no guards here beyond Alvad, especially given that he's apparently really paranoid right now. And like, as you're looking around, there's nothing specifically that catches your eye that could have caused that, which is pretty weird because in this instance, you feel inclined to trust your instincts that something weird just happened, but it's nothing that is visible.
So she stops. She puts a finger up, opens her mouth, like, no sound comes out. Looks around, shakes her head, and then goes to follow Rerun,
Okay.
looking confused.
Okay. So you head on out without further incident. Rerun, you have been hearing at least the bits of the conversation that we broadcast.
And he will ping Powder as soon as they're in the elevator or the lift.
You get Powder's answering machine.
Powder. Powder. Well, whenever Powder gets this recording, we are going to have to do a public diagnostic to prove to our business connection that you are not holding on to any residual samples or maintaining any knowledge of the sample that you did take. Basically, we need to purge that. We're not going to do anything fucked up to you, but he basically needs assurances and guarantees that his information is secure and only in his possession, not in yours/ours. So, he's going to send one of his techs to observe the process or whatever, and we're going to do it on the Nasari. Yeah.
As we're walking along, I am really impressed that you did not, like, murder him.
It's not honestly, the architecture in there is pretty stable. It would take more than the 2 grenades I have to bring down that building. So.
I mean, we didn't need to bring down the building. We just had to. There are places you can put those grenades.
Yeah, but the
Yeah, no.
style. There's
yeah.
I might I might be an R3 unit, but I do have a sense of aesthetic.
That's fair. That's fair.
Speaking of which, we should pick up Rainbow's wheels on the way back.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Hey, Aaron, do we know how much money we won from Praz gambling back on Crossroads so that I can actually buy these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going back through and trying to figure that out. The problem is not everyone put in their bets in the same consistent style, and not even everyone that I'm pretty sure bet even put all of their bets in. So unless anyone happens to have a convenient spreadsheet of the information that's accurate, no, I still need to go back and watch that episode so that I can get the accurate numbering.
Okay.
Which, as anyone who's ever tried to rewatch something on this channel knows, takes a little while to find the point.
Yep. 3-hour
Sorry,
episode, it's a thing.
But yeah, you do know that that's probably going to cost you about 10 credits around there.
Right. I've got at least that.
By the way, might sound like a weird question, but did you notice anything, besides obviously the racist human, not human? He was human, right?
Who, Alvan?
This is me
To
asking
you, Jack.
This is me asking the GM. He
Corey,
seems human-ish.
he definitely presented as human.
Yeah. Okay.
With your xenology roll, that doesn't quite ring true, but he definitely presented as human.
Yeah. So, besides the racist humanoid, did you notice anything weird in there?
The fact that Mr. I'm scared of my own shadow literally had no backup.
I mean, well, yeah. No, when we were leaving, I just got a really weird feeling. And then there was the whole thing with the eyes. What the fuck? Like, it's not like...
I mean, either they were very, very good implants, or...
No. They had... No. There was something more. There's something ain't right about him.
He's... I've seen more, like... Except for the times when he very overtly lost his turducken, that temper, when he, except for the times when he
Those
obviously
are
lost his temper.
Now. Those are now canon. Turduckens are canon.
Counter.
Except for when he obviously lost his temper.
Right.
I've seen more emotional reactions from hyperdrives, honestly.
Right. So it's probably just him.
He's a weird thing, yes.
Yeah.
Whether that's just innate weirdness or specific individual weirdness.
So, only other thing. So this diagnostic, I'm not worried about. Like, we got all of we gave everything over to him, but part of his requirement is making sure this doesn't happen again. How are we going to get by that?
Well, the nice thing about droids, other than everything,
right?
Is that we're like, I mean, with proper diagnostic tools and that sort of thing, you ask a question, you get a response, and then you send a secondary analysis pulse through, and you can tell whether or not the response was
right,
actually true.
Right.
So we sit powder down. We send through the necessary diagnostic probes, and as long as powder is willing to cooperate, it shouldn't be a problem and shouldn't require any in-depth alterations or even really many alterations at all. I mean, it's not... Powder's programming is is odd, but they do seem to still have their initiative protocols in place, and
I mean, it's not.
They have choice, you know.
It's not so much that their programming is odd; it's that there's traces of something else in there, the previous programming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned that might pop up, and so and come into play in the responses.
Well, so here's my idea then. The pink ones, please. Yes, those.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you.
For real.
Here's my idea. You and I run the diagnostic first before our third-party observer even shows up to give us an idea of what we're going to run into.
That's good. Yeah.
And then it'll be basically just a repeat display unless something does crop up, which it should in the first pass or two.
Right.
And then if it does crop up, we tell them, yeah, well, you can meet us tomorrow. We give ourselves enough time to address it before our third-party individual comes in for their observation routine.
I'm assuming... what's this chucklefuck's name?
Alvad?
Alvad, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't remember the unimportant details. I just remember unimportant details like nomenclature. Who cares?
We remember pretty much everything we notice. I mean, unless you get bad.
I'm assuming he'll be paranoid enough of Powder that he won't want to be in the same room, so that's fine. I have concerns if he comes in the room because, again, previous programming remnants taking over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, a little buffer, a bulkhead or two in between would be best. Yep. I mean, honestly, as long as we can get him to a table with Hondo, everything should be fine. And then once that happens, sure, we can shove a grenade up his Yazoo and go from there.
He has a Yazoo.
Yeah, what if we just get him on this ship?
It's right next to his Kadash.
Get him on this ship and then tranquilize him, and then he wakes up across the table from Hondo and he takes over from there.
That is
literally our only job, is to get him back to Hondo.
It is pretty much true. And I don't think Hondo would care terribly much as long as he was conscious and able to...
Jim, it's not literally our only job. We're supposed to facilitate the sale.
You're supposed to make sure he's in a state to make a transaction, yeah.
Conscious and...
We don't tranquilize him. We drug him with something that makes him susceptible to Hondo's charm.
Wait, is that one of those human reproduction things?
No, we don't want... No.
Oh, okay.
Hondo actually has a boyfriend. Or will have a boyfriend.
Nah, let's just do it this way. This way it'll be easier and there's less chance of it blowing back on us.
Okay.
Yeah, head back to the ship.
And see if we can scare up Powder whenever we get back.
Yep.
Since they are not answering their phone.
Powder is currently on another ship, flying as far away from the planet as quickly as possible, with double birds out the window.
We're sorry, your medical droid is in another castle.
Powder is sleeping on the ship. Corey and Rerun have returned to the ship. What are the other three of you doing? Are you still intending to head to Theresa's place? Okay.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about anything else going on otherwise, so...
Yeah. No contact from the rest of the team, so assuming they're still busy.
Well, so remember, you don't have proprietary is quite the right word. You would have heard Rerun sending that message to
Oh.
Powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have
a
dedicated
group comm that
Okay.
contacts all of you who have it active. So
Okay.
at least Sayola would have heard that.
Well, my comm's on, so because it's in my
Yeah.
helmet. In that
I'm
case,
the only one that didn't hear it.
in that case, over the I'll put with the comm. Oi, Rerun. You and Corey done with your little meeting?
Yeah, we're
yes,
dropping stuff
at
off
the
at
moment.
the Nasari. What you need?
Right.
Yeah,
well,
I'm not-
if you'd
I'm
like,
not-
we're in the process of hunting down potential information regarding the Doug that sold Yarek's armor. If you'd like to join us for information gathering, we're heading over to an antiquities dealer by the name of Theresa Tane. Figured you guys might want to come along.
Okay. I need to check in with Powder back at the ship, but then I'll link up with you a little ways down the line.
Sure. Send along the coordinates, and I'll send over the comm. I'll send the data.
Splendid.
Corey, you recognize it as the same location that you previously noted.
What's this?
This
'Cause
is
I'm
where
assuming I didn't hear either side of that conversation. I'm assuming.
If your
Unless you
comm
have
wasn't
your
on,
comm
then-
active.
Yeah.
this is where Ares is going to try and hunt down more Mandalorian artifact, antiquity, old shit stuff.
Here. Right here. This
Yeah.
place.
Yes, that place, which that's your last name, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if only this group
We'll go
talked
see
to
where
each other
Powder
more
is, and then
often.
we'll catch up with these guys before something horrible happens to your. Are
Can you
these
tell
ours?
them to hold off for a minute?
Ares, Corey would like for you to wait since they have the last name as she does, and she might. I don't know. Are they related to you?
Tell him not to murder my relative.
Corey says don't murder her relatives.
I mean,
Rerun.
that wasn't the idea.
I'm with them. We're not gonna just murder a merchant.
The idea was to ask for information and see if it was available. But if apparently Corey wants to meet the folks, then certainly we can hold up. That was kind of the idea. That's why we asked.
Corey, why don't you go meet them directly, and I'll take this stuff back to the ship, and I'll catch up with you guys after.
Okay.
Corey's on her way, Ares.
Turn run. It's one of those moments
Yeah.
like dead silence, and then suddenly turn.
You might want to. Can you tell her to turn on her comm link?
She's gone.
Well, then we'll see her when she gets here, I guess.
Look for the
imagine
Yeah.
she didn't
Yes.
bring the
So-
confidence with her. because-
Corey, you actually probably arrive at this location first, partly because you've been here before, and partly because, well, you're almost certainly in a closer part of the city.
Okay.
Again, this is sort of the rundown, somewhat urban area that Rerun took you through when looking for Chingus's gang previously. You were just a few blocks off from them. It's one of those sort of second-story office-y spaces above stores that has the little nameplates and the stairs that head up there.
Right.
But yeah, you arrive. They don't seem to be visible anywhere, and you don't currently hear gunshots, so that's a good sign.
She's having a lot of internal conflict at the moment. Do I wait for them to show up and go up with them, or do I go up first? And that'll be awkward. And then these random people. Oh yes, I know them. And
Meanwhile, we're leisurely strolling along.
Who's worried that we're gonna murder somebody?
Apparently, Corey is? I don't know.
Does she really think that about us? That we just murder people?
I mean, I haven't killed anyone in at least a month, so.
That's great for you.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I feel
That's
like
also a barefaced lie.
I forget how long it's been since we actually had that firefight. I genuinely don't remember.
It's about a week.
Oh, I thought we spent like 2 weeks in flight. Like 3 weeks in flight or something.
Yeah, we were on the ship for quite some time.
Oh,
there
that's
for-
right.
Yeah,
because
'cause we-
Ares punched in coordinates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we made another
It has
stop.
been nearly a month since Ares murdered anyone.
Yeah,
It's
so
been
then-
nearly a month since Ares had any potential targets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been about a month since Ares had opportunity to kill anyone.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean,
So
He's got his 30-day chip at this point.
I mean, unless
We'll stop somewhere
unless
and we'll
they're-
get you a,
I mean,
we'll get
unless
you a
they're-
token.
unless they're counting the arena battles, but that's not really murder. We all
That's not
sign up
murder.
for it.
It's
Like
sanctioned.
it's entertainment. Really, it's a
I
service.
thought you fought beasts.
Also,
Mostly.
you barely
Kill a
managed
person?
to hack anyone to death. Most of your fights were called before that point.
Yeah. Also, I was shooting things. I wasn't using an axe. So
organics.
Okay, so yeah, Ares is having
She just
this
sort of stands
conversation. Of,
paralyzed outside
I
the
wasn't
door.
using my axe. I was just shooting things as Corey is having her internal crisis around the corner as you guys meet up.
this is
Oh,
walking.
Hello,
in.
Corey.
Hi,
You look flustered.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
what's
it-
wrong? You're so
I'm
sweaty.
I'm good. I'm
So this
I'm
is
peachy.
this is what? This is your mom or something?
No, it's not my mom. It's some relative. I don't know. I've never met them.
Oh, well, how do you know they're related?
My last name is Tane. I come from Corellia.
The
There's
person that I'm trying to hunt down and kill also had the name Artinos for a while. It doesn't make him actually related to me.
Plenty of people in my clan that aren't blood related to me.
they're plus
Is that a human thing? Everybody that has the same last name is related?
No,
It's literally
yes
everyone.
and no, not everyone. But there are people different planets. But
Because that's Smith
no,
clan.
when I grew up,
And the
I
Smiths
know.
all speak
my
everywhere.
mom growing up with
Actually,
her,
the
she told
Muhammad
me
clan
about
is the largest.
people that she was from. Anyways, yes.
Well,
Let's go
then,
say hi.
Let's
Unless-
go
Please don't murder them.
let's go meet the folks.
Why do you think we're gonna murder people?
I
Say
point
no.
at Ares.
It has literally been a month since I've killed anyone of importance.
First of all, I'm gonna say of importance. Second of all, you haven't had the opportunity to kill anyone.
She's
And
got you there.
no, I've had several opportunities. We were in a bar. There were lots of soft targets there. We were out in the marketplace. Could have shot up any number of people.
They didn't have any reason for you to want to kill them.
Therefore, this person may also not have any reason for me to
in
want to
all
kill them.
All fairness, I
If
think
they
we've learned.
don't kill them.
I think we've also learned Ares doesn't
There's
need a
some
reason.
very
So
confused
I think
people walking down.
I mean, that's also a very fair
I feel
point.
like
I don't
it's
necessarily
it's
need
the
a
guy
reason,
from the
so.
soup ramen place that you were at previously. He just like leans out of his stall, checks to see if his manager is around, and pulls down that sort of metal barricade.
About this
thing.
point, I pause and I look up because it's like second floor, right?
Yeah, second floor.
I look up at the second floor to see if the window is open.
There are sort of curtains flowing out of a sort of lavender blue color.
Fuck!
So
Right.
yes, the window is open.
So let's go up there. So
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll stay back out here, and if you need me to come in and shoot somebody who
What?
might be holding your relatives hostage, just give me a call, all right?
Why are we here again?
Because
looking-
okay, so let me break it down for you. So
Yes.
Yarrick's armor sold by a Doug to
Yes, I remember.
Cornelia Avion, which is a celebrity management agency that was used as a front to buy it for the person whose head I separated from his body. That was a month ago. Figuring that if you're trying to sell something like that, you're probably going to be pawning it off as an antiquity, not as a suit of armor, because most people understand that if a Mandalorian finds you wearing a Mandalorian's armor and you're not the one it belongs to, that's going to end up bad for you. So, figuring they're sort of trying to sell it as a collectible something like that, it would have probably passed through antiquities dealers, right? So, Corellia is a big trade planet, along one of the biggest trade routes. Figured they probably talked to a few antiquities dealers here. This one's name came up a couple of different times. Figured they might have some information for us. We're just looking for either any information on this Cornelia Avion folks, or the Doug that was trying to sell around a suit of Mandalorian armor.
Just asking questions.
Because if I can find the Doug, I can find Yarrick. And Yarrick's the one I want to find.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, you should definitely stay down here.
I'll be over at that bar.
So,
Okay.
Corey, are you coming up with Praz and I, or are you?
Yeah. Why don't you take lead on this?
Right. So, again, if for whatever reason your relative happens to be being held hostage by a violent Doug, give me a call. I'll sort it out.
They could also be the one holding the hostage, for all we know.
Well, in that case, ask them what it'll take for them to shoot him. And I head over towards the bar.
All right, and I'll leave the my comm open like last time for the conversation.
Okay. Aries, I'm assuming you're headed to the same bar that you went to previously.
Yeah,
that's,
they've
like,
got.
walking here.
Yeah, I want to see if they have the more Swoop Gang games on, because I actually really want to watch
So
more
you
of that.
actually, as you head in, we're gonna take Aries first because this will be fairly quick. As you head in, it's actually crowded right now, compared to the last time you were here, where there was like one guy in the corner, and you can tell why. Most of these hello projectors, and the main one that sort of hovers over most of this bar, are displaying the same game, which seems to be a live match somewhere in the vicinity of halfway done.
Right.
Again, Star Wars TVs are all blue,
Yeah.
so there's actually little indicators for each team as opposed to any sort of color coding work.
Right.
There's little icons hovering above each.
So I'm going to get a drink. I'm going to find a nice seat. It's got a good view.
Yep.
Take the helmet off. Put it down. Pipe the comm link sort of out a little bit louder so I'll hear it if they need me. And enjoy a drink while watching a game.
Okay. Yeah. It's a pretty exciting game. And we're going to move back to team family stuff, I guess.
Team no murder. Yet.
I feel like the Praz may be kind of the yet in that situation.
Mm-mm. He's just the most apt and will be able to murder in the room.
Yeah, Praz has morals. He just also has very good guns.
Yep.
So, yeah. The group of you head on into the bar.
Yep. Head up.
Or, not into the bar, sorry. You head up the stairs. So, as you notice similar lavender curtains to the one Corey spotted, this sort of pseudo-translucent, masking the neoclassical Roman aesthetic thing, except for in lavender, which was not a color that they could make in that context. And sort of as you push through that and head into the space marked with the nameplate, reliquies and oddities, the first thing you notice is that most of the ceiling, at least on this part, is filled with various sizes and shapes of what seem to be wind chimes. Some of them are metal, some of them are some sort of clay or ceramic. And there are various items around, vases, other sort of plaques, plates in this sort of entry area. All of them look fairly old. Some have worn stone, stuff like that. As you enter in, the first thing you notice is the woman sort of sitting at a sort of large love seat in the general space of this presumably store-ish. There is no mistake to be had. Looks almost exactly like Corey, but 60 or so years older. Her hair is fairly long in a braid that runs down her side. She wears thick-rimmed glasses and seems to look up as you all come in.
I'm definitely behind side.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Miss Tang, I presume.
Yes.
Hi.
You're looking for Mandalorian armor, or the seller thereof.
Well, that changes my first question. Are you psychic, or you have someone tailing us?
I tap on his shoulder and I point to the open window.
I think we were right under those.
The spirits of the universe operate in mysterious ways and grant us all various insights into the world around us. Sometimes all that needs to be done is to listen to a little bird outside one's window.
I see. Well,
So I
Call,
shoulder
call,
just
motherfucker.
forward because Corey is doing this on his shoulder blade.
well, then, you should already know the question. I hope you have an answer.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with any. Well, let me rephrase. There's no Mandalorian armor dealers that I am aware of coming through the trade route recently. I would need more specific information about the armor to inquire further, and it's not exactly my area, especially something that's active for use.
So through my comm, I page Ares and just say, got any specifics on the armor that make it unique?
I will send over the hollow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, I was
Of
just
the
gonna
armor.
dig through my utility belt to find that the thing with the specs on it because I believe you gave
Yeah.
them to me
Yep,
at some
yep,
point.
you have them too.
So just a hand that goes over Sai's shoulder.
Of things to note. And you sort of hear him eating and drinking as he's talking. Things to note. The paint on the back of the armor is relatively new. I'll give the estimated date of sale from the data that we recovered, and the details about the paint job that is not standard. Also has no real bearing from Mandalorian perspective. It apparently is the logo of some ancient resistance or rebellion or separatist group of some kind. May or may not have significance. Also, the name of the bastard is Yarick. Y-A-R-I-C-K.
Yeah, so
Sold by a Doug.
transfer all that info to Miss Tang.
Yep.
And then I go back to eating and watching.
Okay. Yeah. You're glad you didn't miss the cool part. Okay. Yep. So. I certainly don't mind inquiring further, but I'm afraid there's nothing of that sort that I am aware of coming through Corellia. Though, even if it's come along the trade routes, many things don't come this far in from the Outer Rim if they wish to avoid the detection of the more legitimate authorities.
Well, we seem to be constantly hitting dead ends looking for this armor. If you have no info or can't find any, do you at least have any advice on where to look? The avenues we've so far have taken have come up very, very short in terms of information.
Again, I'm afraid there isn't much I can offer on the specifics of an armor trade. There's only one Mandalorian artifact I've ever taken interest in, and from that, the only thing I can offer you is to be quite careful, even if among the legitimate Mandalorian clans there is quite a lot of contention, and seeking out even in the most legitimately disgraced of such items can and carry with it the risk of miscommunication or discord with people of a relatively competent persuasion.
Well, I kind of have an ace in the hole when it comes to that problem, so I'm not too worried about miscommunication upon us looking for this armor. So, well, if that's all you have, I guess that's all you have.
As you say that, I want each of you who is currently there to make me vigilance rolls difficulty 1.
As she raises her hand and it becomes a lightsaber and she attacks. It's General Grievous.
Yeah, General Grievous is Corey's mom. That makes sense.
It's General Grievous in
General
disguise.
Kano.
I
Grandma,
mean,
whatever.
grandmother apparently.
Great aunt, technically. You don't
Great
know
aunt.
that
Yeah,
yet.
a triumph and a success.
3 successes and 2 advantages.
3
Okay.
successes.
So, Corey, we're going to start with you. You notice, sort of behind her, there's this entire place is covered with various artifacts and bits and baubles. A few of them look somewhat technical in nature, but you're a little preoccupied at the moment because the thing your mind immediately zooms in on is a number of pictures that seem to be of at least a largely human family on the back wall. One of the young women in the picture, like early teens, kind of looks like your mother. Like, it's obviously a little hard to tell from this distance, but
Right.
you're kind of, given all of the context. Matches what you'd imagine your mother would look at that age. Praz, you're sort of looking around, and one thing that catches your eye is most of the stuff in here, you get why it's here, whether or not it interests you personally. But you're kind of looking for the unusual things, the things you haven't tried before.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. And you notice that there's one wall that's just rock, sort of fist to sort of small book-sized stones that are laid against the wall, which doesn't seem to match the rest of the stuff in here. It seems to be mostly like sort of beigey stone, probably. Jack, what's the kind of rock that has like stripes to it?
If it's a sedimentary,
Yes, thank you. Sedimentary.
no problem. That's what I'm here for.
So it's like stone tablets over there.
Well, they're not tablets. You see a few like tablets with writing on other places. They're just rocks, as far as you can tell, which is a little weird. So, oh fuck! I should have grabbed this when I knew you were coming here. God damn it. You notice a sort of small wooden item that catches your eye as a Kalkori. I don't care I'm mispronouncing, but I'm just going to mispronounce it. Which is something you would recognize as a Twi'lek, specifically from where you're from. Essentially, they're symbols of a given family. They're kind of family totems. This one's actually fairly short. It only has a few family members on each side. Yeah.
Do I recognize the family at all?
Not from a distance. Like, you know some of the symbols, like that there's a father and a mother on this one, but like you would have to examine it up close to try and read it. And a lot of them are very personal to to whoever the specific person whose Kalkori it is. They're generally passed down along family lines.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll walk up just to see if I recognize the family.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna make it a knowledge education roll. Difficulty 3.
I want to walk over to this wall of rocks to see why some dumbass would buy a rock, and how I might also potentially be one of said dumbass.
Failure with an advantage.
Okay.
I look extremely awkward because my cover has just walked in 2 separate directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he hadn't walked forward, I was gonna bump forward into you.
Okay, so Corey, your cover splits off as I was like, it doesn't seem like you have anything, and then wanders off towards something. So Sarah, with 1 failure and 1 advantage, it's no one you know. Again, it's surprisingly short by what you'd think of a Kalkori being. And also, typically these aren't the kind of thing that's supposed to show up in antique shops. It's kind of like a family photo. It's
Miss Tang, who sold this to you? As I point to it.
no one. Not that particular item.
So you found it.
And like now that Corey is visible, she seems to be looking at Corey as she's answering your questions. Not really either. It's
It magically
personal.
appeared.
No. I'm afraid I don't have that kind of magic.
Then how did it get here? Simple question.
It's a personal matter.
Well, I might be a buyer who might want to know where it came from.
Then
And
I
you
would
are a
have
seller.
to inform you that not everything I have in my personal abode is for sale.
I see. Okay. Well, have a good day. Corey, you're on your own with this one, and Sai walks out.
Praz is over at the rocks going, huh?
Yeah,
Turns
Prez,
back
you
around.
can make me an education difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3, okay. Education.
Over the comms. They got good drinks over here, Cielo, if you want to come sit.
Yes,
Flat roll.
She did not take my people's culture very seriously. It upset me. I'm on my way for a drink.
Okay, with a flat roll. With a flat roll, that's definitely rocks. You're pretty sure they're sedimentary rocks. They kind of look similar to the rock faces that are in this part of Corellia period that you saw on your way in, and you can see this is kind of a like plateau, or that's not quite the right word. It's
Mesa?
a really flat place that has cliffs on the side of it.
That's a mesa.
The mesa. Thank you. And sort of the sides of the mesa are mined and stuff, and kind of looks like the same rocks you see on the side of the mesa. Maybe.
I'm just going to start trying to fit the rocks into the holes. Like, just with my hand.
Okay.
Well,
Well-
you said that they got carved out of the mesa? It looks like they're,
Oh,
or
no,
they just look
mesa
like they're
is
made out
a
of the same
description
material.
of a part. The This city is on a mesa, which is
Okay.
a flat part
Yeah.
of the planet
Okay.
with hills on the side of it.
Yes.
All right.
Basically, they seem to be local rocks.
Yeah. All right. I've lost interest. I turn around and I stand next to Corey. Well,
I was expecting Praz to go, I walk out and go get a drink.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm gonna go stand outside the door before this gets weird.
Take your time.
Yeah, I go stand by the door.
Uh,
I give Corey a little pat on the back.
Kind of intense. Her gaze has not, like, even slightly left you, even when Braz was messing around with the rocks and other stuff, since you became visible.
so she grasps onto the only thing that she could think of to start conversation with. Like, I'm gonna make a supposition that, and I point at the Kalkori, that's a family artifact, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Sorry about him. He's kind of, I don't know what's the right word. Prez, can you come over here a second?
I come
Drive
back
his
inside.
communicator. An idiot. Hand it back.
It's sort of like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you took your helmet off.
Yeah, but I made it louder so I could hear it.
Start a bar fight when somebody hears idiot.
That does me. How does? Is there Twi'lek in, or is it somebody that somebody new made it free? I'm just curious.
I suppose you could say it would technically belong to someone I considered a sister.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
I keep it in case those who it belongs to might come back for it.
Get that.
Don't concern yourself with your friends. I've been in this business many years. There are not many types of customers I am unused to.
Cool. Yeah, I gotta go, but well, I'll probably be back sometime later. As she says, she's like backing her way out. Slams up into Praz.
Later.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Don't. All right. I'll just follow Corey downstairs.
Yeah, Corey, as you're backing up, her gaze is still just directly on
That's
you.
not
sort of
helping.
totally calm.
Any drinks? Been making my way down to the.
I'm not gonna have to carry you again, am I?
I don't know. We'll see.
Did I hear correctly? Way earlier, she said that she could ask around, and then Ciolo sort of like just went past that in the conversation.
I think Ciolo said, "Yeah, that would be good," or something.
Yeah.
I can't.
But then
my impression was that it was agreed upon that.
Okay.
she would be asking around.
Okay, I wasn't sure if
She didn't start asking around with, "Hey Corey, have you seen this?"
I just wasn't certain if that was if that had been stated and then ignored, or if there had been an agreement there. Or
There had been an agreement. I don't think there was anything established about when or how that would happen.
So once they get down to start drinking, I'm just going to excuse myself and grab my helmet and actually go back up there because there were some things that needed to be established.
All right.
Leave them to drink.
Yeah.
Helmet under my arm.
You guys are in a bar. Everyone else in the bar seems very interested in the swoop race, whether or not you are.
I'll wait till Windsor gets back, because...
Okay. Yeah. All right, Aries, you head on up. It's a curtain doorway, so
I'm just sort of knocking as a polite gesture rather than a requirement.
Yep. A woman who distinctly looks like Corey but 60 years older is sitting on a love seat, and the entire place is littered with various artifacts, some of which Aries might sort of cursory recognize as of significance, but probably not place. None of them seem Mandalorian.
Pardon me. Theresa, right?
Yes.
My friends were just up here along with one of your relatives. I apologize for the Twi'lek. He tends to be a little bit hot-headed.
There's no need to apologize.
Just wanted to confirm for yourself. Ares Artinos of the clan Artinos. I'm the reason why we're looking for that armor. It belonged to a former brother of mine who no longer wishes to be a brother.
I got
it. If you find anything. And I'll like just sort of transfer over the comm code for the ship.
Okay.
So that she has a way to contact us.
All right.
It is very important to my clan that I find out who was selling that armor.
I understand.
Thank you. I appreciate your assistance and your understanding.
I assume you overheard the conversation we had before.
Yeah. I understand it's a long shot.
I also do not feel the need to necessarily repeat my warning, but...
No. I know there's danger in that direction.
I want to make sure it was heard.
Voyante. And I'll give her a salute. And turn around and...
She will nod in response.
Head back
all right.
out.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
And in case she speaks Mandoa, Voyante is thank you, or literally I accept a debt.
You get the sense she doesn't necessarily speak Mandoa. She speaks, I've been a shopkeep on Corellia for a long time.
Yeah.
I know.
The serious version of I'll pay for that comes across.
Yep. So, and I'll go back and get the others. Right, well, unless all of you are as interested as I am in watching this race, shall we get back to the ship?
Yep.
So we're going to transition to rerun for a moment to give Spencer a minute to get back.
Yeah.
Because there's conversation that needs to happen before you get back.
Rerun will trundle up onto the Nasari, up the ramp.
Yep.
Hello? Anybody?
Now that you're on the ship, we've established you're linked into the ship systems. You can tell that Powder is in rest cycle mode.
Hmm. He'll go look for Rainbow then.
Okay. She is, sorry, they are easy enough. No, Rainbow's she. R3NB is, she is easy enough to find.
Okay. I found your wheels.
Oh, great.
Here, scoot over. I'll get these installed for you.
She'll sort of scoot along. Make me a difficulty 2 mechanics.
Okay.
Failure.
That would be 3 successes, a threat, and a triumph. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It would have been funny.
It would have been funny, yes.
Yeah. It is easy enough to install them. Is there anything specific you'd like to do with your triumph?
Let me check and see what I can spend that on. Basically, he'll be installing it, and then Triumph for mechanics is usually just like a single-use function thing, so kind of like a quick expendable. So, yeah, I think he'll just spend the Triumph one. It literally takes him almost no time at all to fix her treads.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep. Anything interesting happen while I was gone?
Powder slept. The others left. They were looking into something about. They were trying to research something. I think with the ship computers, but also just like in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird they didn't talk to Glass, right?
Glass knows a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do you have any records on what they were looking for? Let's check the computer.
Not supposed to pry, but they were looking for a piece of Mandalorian armor and a company called I totally know what the name of that.
Cornelia Avion.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And the group called Cornelia Avion. I totally wasn't listening, though, if you ask. As the shooty he won or the other shooty one.
Okay. That's good. Listening without listening is a very good ability to have. I would hang on to that. Let's go talk to Glass.
Okay.
So he'll drag Rainbow down to go talk to Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. How are you?
As always.
Default settings intact. Good. Do you know about Cornelia Avion?
Yes, it was the name of a shell company used to purchase something one of your friends was looking for.
Purchase from who? Who was their source?
Apparently, I believe some Doug, but the exact details of those sorts of transactions are hid behind many levels of personal privacy, shell companies and the like.
Can you bypass those levels of personal privacy?
Not in this case. If it was an ongoing transaction, potentially.
But since the files are closed, then it's kind of just...
The companies have been dumped and exchanged many times by now.
Okay. So you don't know who the Doug was. Do you know what records of their activities or transactions do you recall?
I know that I was brought in to validate the item, and I know that I as confident as one can be in my profession of its authenticity.
Okay. So
I know
for
money was paid.
So for authenticating, then you would have access to the sort of claims they were making about the item.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, where did it
was
come from?
Authentic Mandalorian armor, no questions asked.
How in-depth is your verification process?
I can self-specialize, and without bragging, given my education and augmentations, I am one of the foremost experts in the galaxy on especially those sorts of areas when I choose to be.
Okay. I might be wrong, but if you're validating something, generally point of origin, circumstances of creation, and that sort of thing are fairly important pieces of information to verify in order to establish the authenticity of a given object.
I worked under the constraints provided by my brother and those that he was doing business with.
Ah, okay. Do you know?
Mandalorian armor does not necessarily need to be verified in those ways. It is a very unique chemical composition, for lack of a better term.
Materials-wise, you mean?
Yes. The materials, okay. The construction, the methods of forging and reforging are all easy to validate as authentic, if even without a chain of possession.
Ah. I think I see what you're saying. Okay. Huh. You never saw the Doug, did you?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Well, then. Because Ares is trying to track things down. If coming at this from a slightly different direction, then, if you were to look for someone who engages in those type of transactions here on Corellia, where would you go to find that information?
Who would be willing to purchase, would be willing to sell, would be willing to search for, may already have of such an item.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any known colleagues who work in similar fields or individuals you're aware of in this local area?
I was not provided with personal contacts.
Oh, okay. Well, not your fault. Okay.
That was a list of options.
Yeah. Probably people who would be looking to purchase such items.
Yes, I could find potential buyers. I'm not necessarily a known quantity, but I can speak the language of the market.
That would probably be great. Do you have... I gave you a data pad. Yeah.
I have one.
I assume you have internal comms?
I'm afraid I don't. This is organic.
Right. Rainbow, do we have any spare comms around?
I don't think Corey has a comm. Oh, wait. I don't think that the one with the wrench has a comm.
Okay.
Because Rainbow doesn't do names.
Which is fantastic. Right then. Well, Glass, I am going to start looking a thing up in a book. Oh my god. Where is the thing? There we go. Yep. He's going to give Glass 50 credits.
Yep.
Buy a comm while you're out looking around and send me the info.
Of course. Whatever you ask. And Glass will head out.
Okay. Delegation.
Sending NPCs to do the investigation for you. Okay.
Yep.
So let's move back to the bar where
Yes.
most of the rest of the party is.
So
Midway through a race, it's going pretty well for whatever team is being cheered for here. So there isn't a fight breaking out. Shockingly.
So Corey walks up to the table, does not hard, but just smacks Silo upside the head, and sits down. It's a family. It belongs to somebody that's important to her, asshole.
Then she should have said that. I asked a very simple question that she gave
She
an
said
overly
it was-
complicated answer.
She said it was a personal matter and it wasn't for sale. Put one and one together.
Then why was it on the shelf next to things being sold?
Because that's probably her home, too.
It was a storefront, wasn't it?
In terms of, like, the location is licensed as a seller of things?
So, yeah, commercial zone, yes.
Yeah, it's a commercial zone.
Like, there
That
are probably
would be
rooms
accurate.
in the back that she lives in.
Look, I'm sorry. The DM said I looked at something very particular and I
Yeah.
responded to it. What
No,
do
it's
you
all
expect
good.
me to do?
No.
She still could have answered the question very simply.
She doesn't know who you are. If some random person who was interested in antiquities and had heard the conversation we had outside that included please don't murder her, was asking about personal items, I think I would be vague too.
Look, I'm tired.
No, it's
This day is going nowhere, and she rubbed me the wrong way. I apologize.
nah, it's fine. That went well.
I
Drinks.
left early. I'm assuming your conversation with her went well.
Sure. Yeah, it went great.
Yeah, so
Good.
why didn't you tell her that you think that you guys are related?
Oh,
That's awkward.
Because I'm not great with human faces. You guys kind of all look the same, but you guys really look the same.
Oh no, yeah.
definitely related.
I'm pretty sure there's a picture of my mom in her personal photo collection. I think I saw it.
Did you not ask about your mother?
It's a so I don't know. I didn't grow up with these people. I grew up on Nurshadal. My mom left. It's a big whole drama thing. It's an awkward. I froze. What can I say?
That's fair.
No, we're not
I was
getting
just
on to you,
curious.
Corey. We're just trying to understand and to help.
It's weird.
Would you like?
I'm great with. There's actually none of our droids in here right now. I point at one of the other droids. One of the droids. I'm great with them. I'm not great with us.
I see. Would you like to go back and ask questions with help?
Maybe later. It'd be weird now, cause I just kind of left. And
Well, you can give it a few hours.
And wait, where did Ares go?
I guess he went back out. I don't know.
Ares got up and left at one point.
Yeah.
I said I'd be right back.
Yeah.
This is important, Corey. It's your family. Whether you,
we'll do it later. We'll do it later. Once everything seems to, once we're certain that Rerun's not gonna murder somebody.
Wait, who's Rerun gonna murder?
So there was
And
this. Sorry. Go ahead.
And on that note of us losing track of who wants to murder who at what times, that's where we're gonna end for the night.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.